You don't need other people's understanding, approval, or even participation to keep chasing the vision you have for your life. We only have 4 goals as humans. The doubt doesn't go away. The doubters don't go away. The haters don't go away. The hard days and long nights, they don't go away. So you have to get better. Hi, Jamie. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Growth Day.
We are talking about Vision Week, having vision for your life, having vision beyond your circumstances, guys, vision beyond your capabilities, vision beyond your skills, vision beyond your bills, looking out into your future and getting excited about it and building towards it. As you all know, Jamie built a billion-dollar company called It Cosmetics. I have built nothing but a reputation of being a dork, but it's super fun.
And today, you have built so many companies. That is not true.
Oh my goodness. Today we're going to talk about, well, how do you keep going? We're going to talk about, when it's discouraging, exhausting, overwhelming, the kids are screaming, you're tired, you ain't slept, the team doesn't get it, or the team's doing good, but they're leaving you in the dust and you're trying to keep up with the industry, the people, everybody else. How do you do it all? We're talking about that today. Jamie, how's your day going?
Going well. It's been an early morning, so it's a full, if I ever show up here on Growth Day with hair and makeup, it's because it's a full press day for a book. So everything's outdoors now, right? So you do hair and makeup outside, and then any interviews are outside. And but it's good. It's been an early morning. I went live into my, I have an insider book launch team, right? It's free to join. And I went live in there this morning, and so many people commented, I can't wait to join you this morning on Growth Day morning show. And when I was, right? And I was like, yeah. And when I ended the live, I know, I ended the live and everyone's like, okay, see you in 2 hours. And, because everyone's starting to make Growth Day morning show part of the morning routine. So we're 7:30 a.m. live Monday through Friday. And, Brendon and I just kind of had this whole, hope and thought that, every day's a growth day, and what an amazing opportunity to, everyone come together, start our day with a boost of inspiration and morning joy and togetherness, and all the people that love personal growth, or maybe you don't love it yet, but you're on your journey anyway.
Yep. I would say, together. If you don't love personal growth yet, life is soon to interrupt you. That's what I always tell people. Like, most people are like, oh, that's self-help stuff, that's self-improvement, oh, those psychology people, and they're discounting until they realize how hard life is, until they realize their sadness has overtaken them. They realize their feelings suck. They realize, oh, wow, I don't feel happy or fulfilled. They realize I'm not getting ahead like other people are. They realize they get some bad feedback from their spouse, like, you're a jerk, or, hey, could you open up and be more affectionate? Or, we get feedback from the world, or we recognize our place in it, and it goes, you know what? I want to improve. I want to improve for my family. I want to improve for my community. I didn't care about personal development until I got a car accident. And it made me realize, wow, life is a precious thing. I want to have reverence for this life. I say it almost every day on Growth Day morning show here with you guys. I'm always saying, have reverence for life. When life is something you deeply appreciate and you're grateful for, everything turns more colors. Everything becomes more beautiful. Everything's like, oh, okay. And it gives you that perspective of when today sucked or yesterday sucked, okay, no problem. Fresh breath. New day, new sun, new opportunity for growth. That's what we say. Every day is a great day to grow. So who's my personal development dorks out there? Anyone ever, who's read a personal development book this year? Chat down below and tell us what personal development book you read this year. Self-help, psychology, inspiration, or even just a business or leadership book that you thought, you know what? I'm doing this to develop myself. What's a book that you read that you loved? I would love to hear that. As you all know, Jamie's got a book coming out next month. It's called Believe It. And it's a play on words because she built It Cosmetics. So it's kind of funny. And she had to really believe it and have vision. What got you into personal development? Jamie, I would love to ask that today. Like, to have vision for your life, you have to first want to improve it.
Yeah. I've always loved it. I mean, I remember Brendon, you'll remember this, but decades ago, seeing even infomercials about it, right? And seeing, personal development tapes. I've always loved it. Growing up, I mean, I was the only one I know of in my whole family, and I have like 5 families through divorce and adoption and all kinds of stuff. I would just read quote books and literally geek out in it. I would in high school keep journals filled with my favorite quotes and, watch speeches from some of the most incredible speakers, Dr. Martin Luther King. I remember I'm such a dork. I remember going to the high school library because you could check out videos, and I would check out some of the great speeches and watch them. So I remember sitting in the school library watching Dr. Martin Luther King speak. I remember sitting, you know what I mean? I've always just loved it. And I think it's because, and I think probably everyone part of the Growth Day community maybe shares this, where we kind of have that little inkling inside of us that we have something, that special we want to give or create or serve or impact. And I've always kind of had that feeling deep down inside, even from the time I was a little girl, long before I understood it. And I remember, and this is bold. Do you
think that's like the striving spirit? I want to hear your bold thing, but do you feel like you said you were young? How many of you feel like it's because you're young, you have like a striving spirit, and it's just something part of you versus something interrupted life or forced you?
Yeah, sometimes we have those ambitions or those thoughts and then all of a sudden the world teaches us self-doubt. The world tells us all those things that it's easy to listen to, like you're not enough and this and that, and right. So, but I remember just from the time I was little, and there was a moment, I want to say I was 9 years old, sitting in my living room. You might remember this moment where Oprah Winfrey was being interviewed by Barbara Walters, and this moment made the news everywhere. And she said to her, I think it was 9 years old, and she said, "I always knew I was destined for greatness." And I remember this moment, and the press freaked out, and all of a sudden she got a lot of negative press for it too, because I think people weren't used to hearing, especially a woman, make such a bold claim like that. But I remember being 9 years old, sitting there in my living room, and I would switch back and forth between MTV, watching like Yo MTV Raps, which I wasn't allowed to watch, but I'd watch that, and I'd go back and forth and watch the Oprah show every day. Yes. And I saw this interview with her and Barbara Walters, and as a 9-year-old little girl, I remember like getting it. I remember her saying that and feeling like, me too, Oprah, me. Like I remember, and her example helped me believe it was okay, because we learn, I think, so often. And, we all learn this, not just women, but it's easy to dim our own light. It's easy to, grow up and just the things take over, the bills, the kids, the responsibilities, the setbacks. And it's easy to almost lose our own vision, right? We're talking about Vision Week on Growth Day. It's easy to start losing our own vision.
The weight of life.
Yeah. And I remember that moment, Brendon, as a 9-year-old little girl, just hearing Oprah say that in a way sparked a vision in me. And I think I love that we have these conversations. I hope Growth Day Morning Show sparks everyone else's own vision.
Well, talk about vision on this. I'm gonna brag on you for a minute, because it's like, here's a 9-year-old girl who sees Oprah and gets this idea, oh, maybe greatness is okay for me too. And then, builds a $1 billion company. I'm not talking about Oprah, I'm talking about Jamie here with you guys. Then Jamie ends up being like neighbors with Oprah, more or less. And it's like, wow, she built into this vision she had in so many different ways. And both her and I have been able to give back to so many of our mentors and give our platforms to mentors. And that really is magical, that you have these interactions with people who inspire you, then later get to work with them. I got to go on a tour with Wayne Dyer. I got to, have all the big names on my stages now. And I used to buy their tape. I love what you said. I used to buy their tapes. I used to go to the library, public library. Y'all know what a public library is? I go to the public library, I'd get them for free. I love what you said too. You had quote books. I read quote books like they were fiction novels. I used to have a collection of over 150 quote books that I'd bought and read like a book. And I'd just write them, and then I'd say, oh, what do I have to say about this? And that's what started me writing quotes.
Wow.
I was like, oh, I like this quote about ambition. What would I say about ambition? I like this quote about confidence. What would I would say about confidence? And I started posting my quotes on Facebook, and then it became, the thing. But it was all part of the interactions you had of inspirational people, inspirational speeches that you saw young. I had the same thing. Young. I saw role models. I listened to inspiring speeches. I read quote books young. So parents out there, get your kids seeing some personal development, listening to some personal development, getting excited about education and learning, not just Zoom, but like real personal development, personal growth in psychology. And, who knows how they'll turn out.
You want to know what's some parents out there might relate to this. I'm a new parent. So I have a 2-year-old and an 8-month-old. And I have not seen Sesame Street in decades. And now I see Sesame Street. I see cartoons. I see all the stuff. Out of everything I've seen, just to call this out, I have to give Sesame Street props.
Yes.
They weave in personal development. They weave in personal growth into these lessons on believing in yourself, on inclusion, on, trying every time you get knocked down. I'm like, I have a whole new, now as an adult woman who's 43 years old, I have a whole new appreciation for how brilliant Sesame Street is. And I'm just like,
yes.
Yeah, I'm blown away. But I agree with you, because because my daughter will, say everything, and oh, she loves Elmo, but she'll talk about all the different cartoons. But after watching a lot of them now, I'm like, oh, it's Sesame Street that I try to make sure she sees over and over, because those lessons, right, on just like, all those things, believing in yourself.
It's like, it's two-sided. They're really good at, Sesame Street's good at character education and teaching kids social acuity. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you read the feelings of this, inanimate object, right? How do you read feelings is what Sesame has been always about. And teaching, kids about honesty and integrity and, caring for yourself, they're the bomb.
So good.
If you all love Sesame Street, I want to hear favorite characters for sure. By the way, we're live every day, 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Instagram and Facebook. So when I look off camera, if you're on Instagram, it's because I'm looking at Facebook, and Facebook vice versa. But I'm seeing people literally from all around the world who are commenting about, these topics we're talking about. And I bring that up because what we're trying to do with this GrowthDay morning show and with GrowthDay, my company, is we are trying to start this encouraging conversation in your head, but also let you know there's personal development fans and fanatics and dorks like us all around the world who checked out books, who listened to CDs and tapes, who are striving. So if you're the striver in your family and they make you feel weird about it, no apologies, keep striving. If you're the person who's into reading the books and listening to the podcasts and doing your workout, but everybody else around you is just the complainer and not taking action and, no self-responsibility, that shouldn't minimize your light. You don't need other people's understanding, approval, or even participation to keep chasing the vision you have for your life. Like, one great, untold advantage I've had in my life, Jamie, is I don't expect people to support me. I grew up in a place where people beat me. I grew up in a place where people minimized us. I grew up in a place that was economically depressed. I grew up with very little expectations of people around me at all. And so that gave me this independent, I'm going to make my own way. And I'm going to do it either way. And I think that in one way that was good because it made me self-reliant. In another way, I think I wish I had asked for help earlier in my, I'd say early 20s specifically. So it's like personal development. We always talk about self-awareness, self-responsibility, self-reliance, but a huge part of personal development is your environment, your community. And so everybody here who joins us GrowthDay morning show every day, thank you. We love that you're weird like us. We love that you can chat down below and share about what you learned on Sesame Street or what book you read this year. And you are geeking out about getting excited about for today too. Even if you have like lots of obligations and hardship the rest of this day, we start with reflection about what's important in life, reverence for life. We start with the joy Jamie brings to this world. Just look at her smile. You're like, every time I see her in the morning, I go, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's have a great day.
So I love what you just said too, that you wish you would have asked for help sooner too, because I think that so many of us, especially if we aren't around other people that maybe that dream the way we do, or have big goals or big visions or want to improve ourselves, right? We're not around that. It's easy to just take that route of like doing life alone, in so many ways, even sometimes in our own homes, even when we have a lot of other people in our own homes, we can still feel lonely. And one of the things I talk about in my book for the first time ever, never shared the story, and I won't go into it here, but it's the lesson, which is like, I realized my whole life that I thought, I got it myself. And independence is this badge of honor. And I'll be a lone wolf in some of the stuff I do, and that's okay. And all those things. And I actually, through the process of not being able to have a baby for a decade, and losing pregnancies and all the stuff, all the hard stuff, to share for the first time ever. And then going through the process of looking into adoption and surrogacy, and eventually having our daughter, I learned this lesson that life isn't meant to do alone. And that also sometimes when we show up in community, and when we trust other people who've earned our trust, who have similar ambitions, similar vibes, like life is so much more beautiful. And, for me, it's part of why I'm inspired to wake up every day and hop on this morning show with you and with everyone else in the GrowthDay community, because I think for so many of us, this is a form of community where we can feel connection. And, a lot of us have jobs. I read everyone's DMs they send me. A lot of people have jobs they don't feel connection in yet, or don't feel inspired in yet, or they have situations in their homes or their families where they're not feeling that connection and that inspiration and that aliveness. And I think, that's what I love so much about you putting GrowthDay together as a whole company, but also with the live coaching, with all the stuff that you're doing, but then also this morning show, is that everyone's here, and it's really just, connection with each other, sharing all the stuff, the
hard stuff, the surprise. I mean, I think what people are going to be surprised when you read Jamie's book, and again, it comes out this next month. It's called Believe It. I think what you'll be surprised in there is, people often assume when, all these people who are building these big businesses and have big teams and have, ultimate outcomes that are extraordinary, we think, they had everybody behind them. Everyone was cheering them on the whole time. Whenever they walked, there were rose petals thrown at their floor, and, they were constantly being handing like cuddly little animals every day. And you're like, there's this myth that like, oh, I'm just going to walk on the path of ease, and there's going to be a big, it's going to be built on money. And at the end, they're just dancing bears and everyone's happy for you. I'm here to tell you, often, just like the rest of you and all of us, right? Like Jamie had tremendous hardships throughout her journey, from, working 100-hour weeks, to trying to have family, to dealing with, parent stuff, friend stuff, family stuff, team stuff, the market not believing in her, judging her for what she looked like, sounded like, not knowing how to build a company. Like, that's how it actually goes. When you have vision for something, that's how it goes. It will feel hard. It will look like a hot mess. People will judge it, and they will judge it way too soon before they know anything, and they'll keep judging. Jamie's achieved like the most extraordinary things. She still gets judgment every day, right? It doesn't go away. The doubt doesn't go away. The doubters don't go away. The haters don't go away. The hard days and long nights, they don't go away. So you have to get better. Mm-hmm. You get stronger. You improve. You learn the stuff we've been talking about here, about managing your emotions, your feelings, and demanding that you handle those uncomfortable feelings. The world isn't going to change, and the world isn't going to get a lot easier. What's going to happen is you're going to make it easier because your mindset, your habits, your discipline, your perceptions, how you care for other people, your intentionality met with initiative. Mm-hmm. And then your community, the people in your GrowthDay community here, who are going to cheer you on throughout the year, and all the coaches we're going to bring you. It's a constant process, and that's why we're here for you every day, guys.
And you have the best coaches, like just in my own process of launching this book, right? Anyone else who's launched a book for the first time ever, first time author, I am blown away and so humbled and grateful. But how many of your coaches, because they're just good human beings that are so brilliant, and tons of them have written like dozens of New York Times bestsellers themselves, like out of the blue, just showing up for me. Oh, do you have a launch team put together? I'm like, what's a launch team? Do you have, all the stuff? It's been amazing. And there's so many, incredible experts, people that, and I say this before because I've seen it with my own eyes, people getting, they get offered, $100,000 for a keynote, $75,000 for a keynote for 1 hour. They're going into GrowthDay live for everyone in the community for, I think all in, what is it, under $1 a day or something, and you're getting live to all the people. So it's just such a cool thing, and such an innovative and revolutionary thing to be able to, because I've never seen any place before either, even like you can go find an expert online who does something, but it's so different to come and to actually experience these type of caliber of coaches live and interact with them all inside the GrowthDay platform. But one thing before I forget, because we talked about this yesterday, we talked about vision boards. This is Vision Week, right? We talked about vision boards, which I've sat there with a group of friends and cut out pictures and did the words, and I believe in all that stuff. I love when I'll start mentoring a new woman. I mentor a lot of entrepreneurs, and then she'll bust out like a few weeks into our mentorship. She'll bust out and show me a vision board that she put me on, or It Cosmetics or something on years earlier. I'm like, I love that, right? Because I think that what we we put things out there and we start to believe they're possible ourselves when we do that. But you mentioned also talking about vision boards and how you take it to a whole new Brendon Burchard level. And I don't know if you have enough time today to share with us, or we should do it tomorrow, but I think that's how you do your board. I remember, what did you call it? Your warrior board, or I can't remember.
Battle board.
Battle board. I was close. Okay, I want to see this battle board.
Okay,
I think I need to up my vision board game here.
Right. I just pulled off 3 things, okay?
Okay.
So just to give you an idea. So my battle board is, for those who are in GrowthDay, you're going to learn a lot about this. If you're not in GrowthDay, again, go to growthday.com, join our community. As Jamie was talking about, get literally the best personal development coaches in the world working on you every week for $1 a day. It's crazy. Less than $1 a day. What am I talking about? Okay, so my battle board, it has, my calendar on it, like just big picture, what I want to do throughout the year. It has, reminders of my values. It has reminders of things that help, key messages to my audiences. But it's not just a scheduling tool, and it's not just a vision board where things are pretty. It actually has all these frameworks and these pictures on it that remind me what's important. I'm going to walk through these real fast. But for example, let's say I'm not happy. Like, I have all these rules, right? So here's like, I'll work through this. I'll say, okay, let's say I'm not happy today. I'm just not feeling happy. I'll literally go to the board and go, why aren't I happy? And there's the answer right here. Happier. Do you see, does that show up? It says
it's
happy.
Backwards, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
backwards on Instagram, straightforward.
Oh, okay. So it says happier equals more presence. Okay, so it's like, I'm not happy. Bring more presence to the moment. Okay. More potential activation. Okay, am I doing something that's pushing me to my potential? Number 3, passionate lifestyle. Am I bringing passion to my interactions? Am I bringing passion to what I'm doing? Am I working on things that I'm passionate about enough during the week? Then purposeful living. Do I sense that I'm on purpose? And can I connect with my purpose today? And then the last one says praising God and others. Sometimes to be happier, I just got to praise God, praise other people. I feel better. So that's my roadmap. So these are my rules, my roadmap to happy. But then I have the same thing for confidence. Not feeling confident today? Why? Oh, I don't have clarity. When I don't have clarity, I feel unknowns. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't feel confident. Congruence. Am I doing something that's not aligned with who I really am? Competence. Am I just lacking confidence because I don't know what to do? You know something about this launching a book right now, right? Sometimes you lose confidence because you're like, I don't know. Like you said, I got to have a launch team. I got to have this. So anyway, I have all these things. And then I have, okay, I feel lost today. What am I really after? This is primary aspiration theory for those who have the high performance journal or planner. And it's just like, oh, we only have 4 goals as humans. We only have 4 goals. And once we realize, oh, I have 4 aspirations in life. So there's only 4. One is our being aspirations. We want to be alive and we want to be congruent, right? Our being, like how I feel I am being in the world. Like you didn't realize you have a goal of how you want to be and feel in the world. Being goals. Then we have relating goals. I want to relate with others in this way. I want to have relationships like this. I want to have a team like how we relate with the world and others. Then we have creating goals. I want to contribute this. I want to build this. I want to progress this thing. And then we have growth goals around that. Growth goals, which is always in the middle, growing. That's it. Everything you want in life comes back to a state of being, a state of relating with other people, a state of creating something, doing something, like that, what we call meaningful pursuits. And then the desire to just get better, mastery, competence, skill. That's it. Whenever you're like, I don't know what I want, that's all you want. You can break it down in a million different ways. So I'll look at that. I'm sorry for all the framework breakdown, y'all, but this is the stuff we do in Growth Day. But we go deep on this stuff. So I hope you enjoyed a little bit of that. So it's the point of this for you all isn't for you to teach mine. It's you should have a board that tells you how to get confident. It tells you how to be happier. That tells you how to be an awesome wife, mom, dad, brother, leader. Like something that I stand in front of that every day. So people are like, do you ever feel lost? I'm like, no, I got this board.
I got my battle board. I just saw Jenna Kutcher, one of the Growth Day coaches, in the comments. She's live with us and she said, I can't wait for the full training on this. I'm like, amen. So I'm a coach too, but I'm going to hop in that full training that you do on this eventually inside Growth Day, because I think this is so brilliant. A lot of people in the comments saying too that they have vision boards, but they've never taken it to this kind of a level. So they look at these pictures and they are trying to manifest them, but actually breaking it down like this, which is basically a roadmap on how do you get there? How do you get to those pictures? How do you get to those pretty pictures of emotions you want to feel, of things you want to manifest? And this is like the legit framework roadmap. So brilliant.
I want, if I look at your board on your wall, I don't want to just see pictures or your calendar. I want to see your process. What are your values on the journey? What are the protocols that you run when you get frustrated or upset? Like yesterday, I showed my reaction card. It's like, oh, here's when I overreact, when I'm upset about something, it's literally like, do these 6 things. It will help you. Oh, right. Because in the moment you forget that and you act, well, me, if I forget that, I act stupid. I act like a child. I get upset. I screw off the day instead of like reorienting myself to some protocols, some rules, because everything you've dealt with in life and everything you're going to deal with, you probably already know the best way to deal with that. You just need the reminder when it's happening. And so that's what I do with the battle board. This can be your day for personal growth. This can be that day you committed to and you remember and you go, that was the day I got myself a community. I got better coaches. I committed to making my life the absolute best that I could. This is that day. Make today your growth day. Click the button on this page and sign up right now.